I am the opposite of a homer when it comes to the Jets. I get yelled at by a lot of people, including the Jets, for being so critical. But, that's just the way I am. It's the way I was raised. My father was the same way. My father would yell and scream during the games. The Jets never had a coach my father didn't hate because the second he did anything, the second he punted on a 4th and 1 at midfield, my father decided this guy's an idiot. He's dead to me. And so that's how I was raised. So I am just negative by nature, particularly when it comes to my team. And it is well documented how I felt about the Sam Darnold situation, but that is obviously water under the George Washington Bridge. It is my opinion that the Jets had an outstanding draft. If you wanted to say the Jets had the best draft of any team in the NFL, you would get no fight out of me. I mean, I would nitpick and say maybe the Chargers had the best draft, but the Jets' first 4 picks, well, 3 of the Jets' first 4 picks. Well, we don't know yet about Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, ultimately, none of the rest of it will matter if Zach Wilson turns out to have been a bad pick. But that one you can't grade yet. Like, they fell in love with him, and having spent now a few days there, I can tell you most teams in the NFL, given that choice, would have taken him second. Not all of them, but I believe he would have been the most popular second pick amongst the quarterbacks in this draft. Only time will tell if that was right or wrong. I can't even really give you a grade on that. But I can tell you that Elijah Vera Tucker and Elijah Moore, who they took with the trade up in the first round and then early in the second, were both players that I think were inside the top 20 of most people's best players, certainly first-round caliber players. Vera Tucker fits a need exactly. They traded up perfectly. I thought that was a sensational pick. Elijah Moore, I mean, Mel could not believe he didn't go in round 1. If he had gotten picked 20th, where the Giants take Kadarius Toney, 20, right? If he had gone 20, no one would have batted an eye. No one would have questioned the pick. They got 3 top 20 caliber players. And then the pick of Michael Carter, the running back out of Miami, out of North Carolina, that everybody was all high on Javonte Williams, who was his teammate at North Carolina. Carter ran for more yards last year than he did. He's not as good a prospect. But if Michael Carter had gone late second, early third, no one would have blinked. And they got him in the 4th round. So my compliment, the overwhelming compliments to the Jets. I thought they had an absolutely outstanding draft. And I'm fired up. I mean, as enthusiastically excited about it as I can possibly be. That said, by a nose, if you ask me who do I think had the very best draft, I think I would say the Chargers, if only because I think that they filled their needs exactly. Exactly. We spent so much time in the preparation for this draft going over team needs. The overwhelming needs the Chargers had were offensive line. And for them to get Rashawn Slater, forgetting that I'm excited that he went to my alma mater, but for them to get Rashawn Slater at 13, literally exactly what they needed, plus they addressed the offensive line in free agency. And then to get Asante Samuel Jr. in the 2nd round, he I think, there were a lot of people, including Mel, who had him graded ahead of some of the corners who went in front of him. So I think that was an excellent pick. Excellent. And then you look down the line. They did a really good job. So I think the Chargers had an excellent draft. The other headlines, of course, were the Bears and the Patriots getting the quarterbacks where they did. The Bears, I think, did what they had to do. I have zero criticism of the Bears going up to take Justin Fields. They had to do it. We knew they had to do it. We'll never know what would have happened if a quarterback had gone 4 and we only had one of them as the draft went on rather than 2. So I think the Bears did a great job. And then I will tell you, the offensive tackle they drafted in the 2nd round, Tevin Jenkins, is a terrific player. Terrific. I was stunned he didn't go in the 1st round. That's who I wanted the Jets to take at 23 before they traded up, because there was no way Vera Tucker would have been there. So I think Tevin Jenkins is an absolutely excellent pick. So I think the Jets did very well there. And then what can you say about Bill and the Patriots? They just sat there and their guy came right to them. The guy that I think they wanted more than anybody else just literally fell directly to them at 15. So I think that worked out brilliantly. I don't think Bill could have scripted it any better. I think you've said to him, what is your dream scenario here? I mean, Trevor Lawrence wasn't ever falling to 15. So I think if you had said to him, what would be your number one choice of the way night one could go, he would have said, Mac Jones falls to 15 and we take him there. So I think that he and they did extraordinarily well. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. I have obviously much more to say about all of these, including what happened with the 3rd pick. And when we continue in a moment here, I will share with you the way everything got flipped. Everything got flipped at number 3. The difference in that night at pick number 3, not pick number 4, but pick number 3 is what changed everything that night.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.